at the Mercer County Courthouse for our lunch rest stop for our Bike MS events. Behind us we have a variety of volunteers who've come from all over the community to assist with feeding roughly over 1,000 riders who are riding in our event today. We have volunteers working our hydration station and our medical station. So we have a lot of volunteers here helping out today to make sure that our cyclists have a great and fun event.
Hi, my name's Rick. I'm from Butler. This is my 22nd year doing the MS 150. The last 10 years I've been doing it for a couple of real close friends of the family, Gina Stutz and I can't think of his name now, Joe Skull. And like I said, I'm keeping on going. I want to do it for these people and hopefully find a cure for them. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Julie from the National MS Society. We are at the Bike MS ride and we are at Goddard State Park. This is a 150-mile ride, 2 days, 150 miles, 1,300 cyclists.
We have a story here. Just pulled into the Cochranton Community Park in Cochranton, Pennsylvania, and these two gentlemen walked up and said hello, and Shane Brown and Scott Groundachek. Familiar faces to those from Conneaut that are watching. Shane has something to tell Shane that we didn't rehearse beforehand, so it'll be a little surprise for you, Shane, but I wanted to thank you. I thought about if I did get to see it during the ride, that I don't know if you're familiar that way back you taught my son Dan.
I sure did. I remember Dan.
And I believe that it was from that start of Dan that I got started in videography because I had, no exposure to it until you started those classes. So Dan didn't really get into videography as far as the local access channel, but I did.
Yeah.
So
there you go. So you learn from your son, who learned from me. It's all cool. That's very great.
So I appreciate that from Shane, and of course Scott's dad was involved, and pretty much I guess we could say got us the channel that we have now to be able to show this.
Yeah. And his dad recruited me. I was his first cable access board. I was the first member with Henry on that. Yeah. And then we got the whole thing rolling, and Debbie, a whole bunch of people were involved.
All right. So they're getting ready to ride on out of here, and I guess you got a little bit of a challenge ahead of you.
There's a few hills. I don't know what they call the hill now. There was a heartbreak hill out of here. But I think they've taken us on a much longer hill now. Does that sound right, Scott?
Could be a different round.
Yeah. So yeah, we got some climbing to do yet. I think we got 12 miles to do.
But this is the last stop before.
Well, I think there's a longer stop.
Oh, at the top of that hill. Yeah. And they do that, I guess, because it is such a big hill. They want people to have water again one last time if they should run out.
All right. Well, thank you guys for stopping by and saying hello, and good luck with the rest of the ride.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thanks.
See you back in Conneaut.
Hi, I'm Don Watson. I'm here in Meadville, Pennsylvania, Allegheny College. The ride is finished for the most part. There were a few riders that were still coming in. You see a few of them come through the start-finish line, or the finish line, I guess. Tomorrow will be the starting area for day 2. I tried to get some of the footage of the rest areas and some of the things that went on in the ride during the day. We went back to the start line, was able to get a little bit of footage, but things were kind of hectic this morning. Though I started out at 3 this morning, had a little bit of an unusual encounter with very large roadkill that I was not able to get around, and so it ended up causing a little bit of a problem. Had to be taken care of before I could make it the rest of the way down to Zelienople to the start line. We got a little bit of footage at the start line before we had to take off as a SAG driver. Went out on the route and checked on things there. I ended up taking 2 riders right away to the ambulance for minor medical problems at the first rest area. So you didn't get much footage in the beginning, and you'll see some footage from some of the rest areas along the way. Beautiful rolling hillsides. Country is really nice there in northwestern Pennsylvania. By that sound, that's the last riders coming in, followed by SAG vehicles and the ham radio operators that check the route and make sure that everyone has been accounted for. So that is the end of day 1, the ride from Zelienople to Meadville. Tomorrow the ride will start here in Meadville and it'll end Conneaut Township Park on the shores of Lake Erie. I hope to bring you footage of some of tomorrow's behind-the-scenes things that you're not going to see up in Conneaut. And we thank you for taking the time to watch. Hope you learned something. Hope you enjoyed what you saw. So much more to this bike ride than what you see crossing the line under the balloons there at the finish line. I'm Don Watson. I'm at the Conneaut Township Park. The Bike MS Escape to the Lake for 2014 has ended. As you can see, it ended on a wet note. Started out the day today in pretty good shape with some sunshine, but a forecast and a radar that didn't look so inviting. The worst of it must have gone south or dissipated before it got to the riders. But about 11:30, I think it was, the rain started coming down, and it gradually got worse. We got some lightning. Riders were trucked in, biked in, or transported in with support and gear vehicles, some because of the rain, some because of the lightning. Some, I guess, were held at the last rest stop while the lightning and thunder was going on, and so they came in a little bit later than they might have otherwise. But the ride is over for this year. My thought was that I was going to give you some behind the scenes for both day one and day two, but day two, as a support and gear driver, were pretty hectic. There wasn't too many times that I was out of the car. About the only time I was out of the car was loading or unloading a bike. Support and gear, we go travel the route and offer assistance in any way we can. If there's an accident, we are able to call that in or provide Band-Aid or first aid kit. We have water and Gatorade for those that needed that. Helped anybody out that might have needed help with mechanical problems. Got them into a rest stop where there was a mechanic waiting to take care of their situation, or if we could do minor repairs, that was done as well. See, there is really no behind the scenes footage for the second day other than the interview we did with Martha Sorahan and Conneaut's hometown happenings from our cable access channel. There just was not enough time. Day one was a little bit different story. There must have been more support and gear drivers, so I had a little more time to get out and do a little bit of video. There was a shortage of people that were willing to talk, so you didn't hear much in the way of interviews. A lot of people declined to talk on camera, so you got to see what some of the rest stops were, or what some of the terrain was, but that's about it. The job again was to be a support and gear driver, and then secondary was to get some video, and I did get a little bit of video you get to see today, and thank you for watching.
Okay, the MS-150 is a lot more than bikers. Marty Landon here, DJ Max, has been doing this for how many years?
I believe this is 19 years for me.
Okay, and you're down here at 7:30 in the morning, and you're probably one of the last to go home because you have the important job of playing the music so that when everybody comes down, they know there's a party going on.
I play the music, I create some excitement, and I do all their announcing for their sponsors and their lost and found, is everything.
Yeah. So what do you like best about it? What's the most fun?
Seeing the same people year after year. I've seen people down here today that I've seen 19 years ago, and they're still riding for this cause, and it's just fabulous to be a part of it.
Yeah. What's the most exciting? What makes the adrenaline start running? Like when the first rider comes down the hill, or does it start before that?
No, really, it's I get butterflies the night before.
Really? Is that what's fun?
Yeah, the anticipation. I look forward to being down here, and I think it's more of when the biggest groups come in, and they're like 20 cyclists riding down the hill, and the excitement that brings. I love it.
Yeah. Now you've done a lot of these. So today we ended up having rain, hence the wet hair. Is it different when it's raining compared to when you have a beautiful sunny day?
Absolutely. It's just, I mean, more festive occasion when there's beautiful sunshine, and it's warm, and the riders come in and they're so happy to be here.
Yeah.
Today they just wanted to get out of the rain.
The ones that came in after about 12:30, yeah. Some of them beat the rain, and then a lot of the other ones were wet and cold. I know I saw a lady over there with a tank top, and she was freezing. She was wet, and she looked at the steps going up the hill. That's where they have to take the bikes to take them back to Pittsburgh, and she goes, "Could they make it any more difficult than this?" And I'm like, "I don't know." I'm glad I didn't have to go up the hill. And I know I was kind of with you a lot today. People, I was amazed how many came up and thanked you and said thank you for doing this.
I've had a lot of people through the years come, and they say that on their ride up here from Edinburgh on Sunday, they think about me all the way up here and the music that I'm going to be playing, and they can't wait to get here and see me. And it's just, that's all part of, you know, the excitement of being here.
Well, now, do you play the same music every year? Do you just have like a computer program that...
Absolutely not, Martha. New songs come out every year, and I add them to the playlist every year. So, like just a few minutes ago, you heard Pharrell Williams, Happy. That's a brand new song, you know. So I do play a lot of the same songs, of course.
Yeah.
You know,
do people ever write in and ask you to play a certain song?
Oh, absolutely. I get requests all the time.
Are you able to accommodate that?
Every time.
What do they ask for the most?
Oh, I've had them come up and ask for the YMCA. And they've asked for a certain genre of music, country music, or, you know, and I throw something in there for them.
Okay. Well, since you make it so much fun, that means you can never retire. You realize that?
Someday. I'm going to be here 20 years. I know that.
Well, that's great. Thanks, Marty, and thanks for all you do. You help make it a wonderful and fun event.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome another group of cyclists rounding the corner, coming down the hill and crossing the finish line. And may I add, on a recumbent arm-powered bicycle.
We're going to close this segment at the Sunday's MS 150 with probably the most inspirational story of the afternoon. I'm talking to Tom Antolik of Ambridge, Pennsylvania. That's right. I got the city right. He has been on a recumbent bike the full 150 miles, but you're paralyzed from the waist down, so you've been pretty much guiding it with your arms. So go ahead and tell, why do you do this every year?
Well, I do this because for 7 years before I was injured, I rode it on a regular bike, and once I got hurt, I decided to invest in a bike and start riding again, so that's why I'm back out here on this.
How did you find this bike?
When I was in the hospital, I was introduced to the fact that there were bikes available, and then once I got better, I started looking into it, and got the money together and made the purchase.
Did you have to train on this a long time to get used to it?
Yeah, I mean, it took a little bit to get used to, but not a whole lot. And, you know, I'm familiar with biking and being on the road and stuff like that, so.
Well, now, I mean, it seems like riding an ordinary bike would be easier than this? Is that? Going
uphill, yes, it's a lot easier.
How about going downhill?
Downhills, this is pretty fast. I can, you know, keep up with the really fast riders and pass. You know, even guys that are riding fast, sometimes I'll pass just because I sit lower to the ground. There's more weight with this whole rig, and downhills are fun. Uphills, not so much.
Every bike's like that. Now you had the added challenge this time because of the rain. So talk about how far out were you when it started to rain this afternoon?
Yeah, I want to say 20 miles roughly away when it started to rain, and then we were held at the final rest stop due to lightning. And about a half hour, maybe a little longer, and then they let us back on the course.
Now you said a lot of people got trucked in just because of the weather. Did you ever consider giving up and coming in that way?
Nah, this is my 9th MS 150, and I've never needed the sag wagon. yet, so I didn't want to do it this time.
Yeah. Thank you so much. You must be tired, ready to eat.
Well, I think the rain helped because I'm not as tired this year as I was last year, but I'm sure I'll go right to sleep as soon as I get home.
Okay. Thanks so much. You're
Thank you.
inspiration to everybody. Thanks.